Previously on the other dungeon. Erog read Karam's final journal entry to the crew until he was interrupted by the demon Blaine, who killed most of the crew and tore Bekefo's temporary bone demon body to shreds. Back in the docks, Sin and Ivory found a lawyer willing to defend them in their arson case, then found decent jobs and prepared for trial before reporting for their day in court. And now, the other dungeon continues.
The farmer is there with his lawyer. He presents evidence that you are the hunter that showed up to his establishment to rid it of rats. He soon after found his cellar on fire. Years worth of product destroyed. You were nowhere to be found, or you were not accounted for after that.
The product down there was already ruined by the rats because the infestation was so bad. It has gone to crap. All of it. There were so many rats. Pretty much didn't know what we were even getting ourselves into. We assumed there was less, but there was hordes of them. We were pretty much overrun. We had no other choice but to defend ourselves.
The audience whispers. He asks the lawyers to approach the bench. They talk a little bit. The lawyer comes back to you and says, well, it sounds like it may have been an accident or something no fault of your own. Unless you can prove it wasn't you that started the fire, unless you can implicate someone else in the crime of starting the fire, and you're going to have to pay for the damages done at least. And your hunting license will be suspended for at least 6 months.
Most of the damage was already done by the hordes of rats.
So you want to argue for a lower punishment because of the damage by the rats. Roll me a diplomacy on that.
He should pay you, boy.
Either way, you have no proof of that because it was all burnt up.
I have these berries in my pouch that we were given by the owner. There were so many rotten berries, he had enough to give us to use as bait.
They'll say that's because his cellar was infested with rats, which you guys were supposed to fix.
When was the last time you did down there?
So, last season, I guess.
It's obvious how bad it had gotten since last season.
No, but that's why I asked the Hunters Guild to take care of it. Aren't you guys supposed to be the exterminators in our city?
We exterminated them, didn't we? You had no idea that stuff was already rotten. I would even give that to my bestie.
You hear it?
There was nothing wrong with the product in the cellar.
Prove it.
You can't because it's all burnt up.
I got at least berries in my pocket.
He gave you out of the kindness of his heart.
Damn, those berries are rotten.
He's had no way to preserve them, so...
Well, I've got a witness that also can say that these berries and everything was rotten.
Alright, you call your witness to the stand. Sin's lawyer will question you. We'll just ask you how you know Sin.
Well, I came across Sin walking along a path and needed my help. I almost did walk past it, but I couldn't overlook that this creature was in trouble. So I had to help the little creature out.
You seem like a nice person helping a stranger out. How long have you known Sin?
It's about 2 months now. About 2 months.
And over that period of time, has Sin ever caused any other trouble? Caused any other fires or fights or any other problems that you've seen?
Nope. One of the best creatures I know.
So a generally well-behaved citizen.
Work for our wage.
I mean, look at my record.
Pretty clean up until now. A few minor mishaps here and there, but nothing of this scale. And he'll ask what you do for work, Ivory.
I work at the local pawn shop. Identifying items for magic.
Yeah, so honest tradesman here, as a character witness. He'll say, he'll ask his client, Sin, do you have anything that you would like to ask Ivory?
Potatoes and berries, well, the product down in the basement. What would you say it was? Would you let anyone close to you eat or drink that stuff?
The establishment was very poor when we entered. Very poor. Rotten. Anything could have set that off.
Alright, that's your statement. The counter-argument from the opposing lawyer asks, so you were there that day?
I was helping my rat friend.
Helping your rat friend on the hunt?
I needed an assistant to
I was carrying stuff.
I'm pretty weak, so...
You were just carrying your friend's things? Why don't you give us a full account of what exactly happened that day? Now remind you, we're in a court of law.
Well, I was just caddying stuff around. That's what elves do, obviously. Sin, he needed help down there in the basement, I guess. I was still carrying stuff.
That's how he got to see the product.
How did you get down into the basement?
Then we climbed down a ladder.
Alright, and it was dark down in the basement, so how did you guys see around to see this product that was allegedly in bad shape?
We had lanterns lit, or torches.
Who lit those lanterns or torches?
I lit it because I was the caddy.
Alright, so you lit the torches, and then what happened?
He did not warn us about the fumes of the berries in the wine. As soon as I lit the torch, it all went up in flames.
And you'll testify to this under oath?
Under oath.
Bluff check.
I'll use a hero point, and I'll go for 21, 23.
By almost got you, but not quite. So that's a good enough bluff that they are going to follow this thread for a bit. Not doubt your testimony so far, because you did say you swore under oath. So by punishment of your own god, you're risking lying now, and the punishment of the court to find out you're lying. According to your testimony, the fumes set off the torch as soon as you lit it. Do you have any evidence to support this fact?
Be alchemy if you have that as a craft.
I got knowledge nature and pretty much anything knowledge. Oh, even my craft alchemy is a 6.
I'll just roll knowledge nature.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Alright, so you kind of bumble with an explanation of, maybe it was the gas, you're not really sure. Sin, this is your chance to maybe whisper something to your lawyer. You have some kind of clue as to what to tell him.
CO2 that comes from berries whenever they rot goes into the air and has a reaction with the hydrogen.
How about you just roll a knowledge nature to see if you know anything? Make it something up having to bluff to your lawyer. Alchemy or nature. Or dungeoneering.
17.
You don't know a lot, but you could suggest that the berries might put off some sort of methane gas on the cause the explosion. You have no proof of it, but it could have been something. You sort of suggest that to your lawyer, and the lawyer will pipe up and say, he'll interject while Irish is bumbling, try to explain, and he'll say, did you mean to say it could be something like this? And I would be like, yeah, I mean like that, something like that. I don't know, I'm no scientist. I told you, I work at a pawn shop. Prosecution will get even closer to you now. Ivory right in your face, look you like dead in the eye, and ask if you are willing to give a written testimony about what you saw that day and that the fumes set off the blaze.
From me, just want a rundown of everything. I'll sign that.
The two lawyers argue for a minute. They seem to think that your story may or may not be true, and it's inconclusive. They've argued for a scientific study of whether or not this fermented berry gases can cause an explosion. The trial is being stayed until then. So you guys have 2 weeks while they set up this scientific experiment. They're going to try it then. They're going to try it then, and if that doesn't work, your lawyer's going to try and argue it needs to ferment longer. So that's his basic strategy right now, is to say it doesn't. So till then, your license is still suspended until the trial's over. The next 2 months, you still can't hunt, but the outcome has not been decided yet, so you still don't own any money yet. But for the next 2 weeks, you guys are off the hook until they can do their first test of this berry fermentation explosion theory, see if it works. If it doesn't, hopefully your lawyer can convince them to let it ferment longer and see if that changes anything.
I have dark vision, so I was able to see much better down there, especially after the torch was in there. Lots of rat poop, so maybe that has something to do with it too.
Maybe rat poop is explosive, not the fermented berries.
Yeah,
Because what they were trying to say is if it was the berries that caused the explosion, then the farmer might be liable. If it was the rat poop, it's not his fault. It might be the Hunters Guild that's liable for ignoring the problem for so long. He apparently had to complain to the Hunters Guild for a long time about this problem, so it wouldn't be just you, it'd be you and the Hunters Guild in trouble, or the farmer in trouble for causing the problem. But if you say it's rat poop, they'll test that theory as well. So now there'll be a rat poop test and a fermented berry test, and whichever one explodes first will be which they'll decide that's what's responsible for the explosion. One just rat poop, one fermented berry barrel, one that's a barrel of fermented berries and poop. They'll put them in 3 different rooms. They'll bring a torch in each room and see what happens.
Trying to warn him not to light the torch.
The lawyers will also question you guys about any physical injury, of course, and the seller took and how much inventory he lost for damage. But now that you guys might get awarded damages, was there any sort of physical or mental damage done to you?
No one can figure me out.
If the case does go that direction?
I got a few bald spots from torches and a bunch of bite marks, and I think maybe fleas.
So cosmetic stuff. You want like a spa day. You want a
I
haircut?
already get treated poorly with rat pool. It's worse when you look like a dirty rat pool. I pride on being clean.
So they made you look worse, which caused you emotional stress.
It pretty much came out unscathed.
Lit a torch, the room exploded, you took no damage.
I got up that fucking ladder.
The judge will note how interesting it is that you started the fire and yet were unharmed.
I didn't start no fire.
Miraculous. Alright, so you guys will be asked to return again in 2 weeks.
Bring it to alright.
You guys will leave the courtroom. Galath's cart will be brought back around by a valet. You guys will board it and be, escorted out of the High East. Since you have no business here, they assume. You guys will exit back out to the main road. Galath will ask if you need to ride anywhere, if you could just drop you off here.
Alright, I need a drink.
He sighs, but he's going to, his house is in the market district where you guys drink it anyway. Why not? It's on his way. Once you guys stay out of trouble for 2 weeks, don't get too drunk, that kind of stuff. He'll advise you to keep it to just a drink or two. He'll drop you guys off near the bar and head home. It's a cheaper bar, probably not the cheapest bar, but a cheaper bar in the back end of the market district. There's a couple of bars in this area, usually full of workers in this time of day. It was pretty crowded, called the Sweaty Ankle.
I'll go right up to the bartender and just ask for a beer right away.
Yeah, I want whatever
Like, that's all
sounds
I
right.
want right now.
Yeah. Beers here are 1 gold each.
I buy 2, chug 1, throw a glass across the room.
I
Okay.
can sit
You do
on the
that.
opposite side of the room.
No one seems to mind or paying attention to that. Actually, roll me a strength check whenever you throw it, and we'll see how hard you throw it.
11!
Oh, okay.
So Sin tosses the glass about 10 feet. It doesn't break, but it like hits the ground. It's apparently a pretty well-made glass. So when it hits the ground, it's like rolls. Ivory tosses his about 3 feet. Same response, though. It doesn't break. Just kind of hits the ground like 3 feet away. Much worse throw than yours. Until you have a very different upbringing than Ivory.
I slap on the back and yeah! Nice shot!
But the practice seems pretty common here. Maybe that's why they have such well-built glassware, as the floor doesn't seem to be littered with empty glasses.
They live.
People are like kicking them around as they walk around the bar. Glasses hitting glasses, but they don't seem to break. There's a tink of glasses all over the floor of the sweaty ankle.
How many mugs are on? Can I see how many mugs are on the ground right now?
With a perception check.
12. I want my probationers off of this shit, right?
So it's hard to tell, but definitely more than 10. But there are 2 gnome, like, wait staff, or bussers, running around, like, picking them up off the floor very as quickly as possible so they can run and wash them and reuse them.
I want to throw a coin at one of them.
They appreciate the coin for all their hard work. They'll nod at you and recognize you, so they might see you again in the future and remember that you gave them gold. So go about their business, continue to pick up glassware.
Throw you my other beer. I throw it down on the table. Then I go back to the bartender and get a shot. What do you
They have
have
all
here?
kind of liqueurs. They range between 3 and 5 gold. Pretty much any earthly variety of liquor they would have there. So any flavor of liquor you can imagine. Even just any flavor, really. Name a flavor and they got it. So if you're making up something crazy, do 5 gold. And if you're just doing like a fireball shot or something, just give me 3.
Cheese shot.
Oh, that's a 5 gold shot. But yeah, there's definitely a cheese shot.
Yeah, I want one of those.
You take a cheese shot. It's actually kind of thick, like squeezed cheese out of a can. So it drinks real. You dump it into your mouth and it's like a big glob of cheese. But it's definitely got an alcoholic tint to it. Like it's definitely a strong flavor, and will get you drunk. How about you, Ivory? What flavor do you get?
I want straight grain alcohol. I want nothing. Give me a flavor of nothing. In this.
Just alcohol. That's just 3 gold.
No, straight shot.
Straight
Let's
shot.
get lit.
All right. At this point in time, after you ask you guys your con mod,
Yeah.
Constitution modifier.
That was 1.
All right. At this point, you both are very drunk. You guys are probably 3 times past your limit at this point. To be acting drunk, you're going to have a hangover in the morning, all the normal drunk stuff. Maybe slurring your speech, stumbling around. You may or may not remember everything that happens. You may act a little differently, who knows. You guys just had a hard day in court, so that's understandable. Let's see if anything happens while you guys are drunk. I rolled low enough that no one fucks with you, but so unless you guys fuck with anybody, you're good for the time being. You guys are just getting drunk at this place. Might be getting a little louder, but other than that, you're not causing any problems.
I don't want to push my probation.
Are there any other elves here?
Perception check.
Yeah, it's 8.
Hard to tell. A lot of folks here have their ears covered. Many of the market laborers cover their heads because some people in the market are racist, so...
Can I smell to see if there's other rats in here? Rat folk? Hey.
Yeah, the 10 perception, there's a whole lot of things to smell, but no other rat folk. Matter of fact, after that cheese shot, all you can really smell now is the smell of cheese in your palate.
I'm so hungry. Jeez. What did I do to myself?
Totally fucking wasted right now, man.
What is there to eat?
This bar does offer a few snacks.
Please don't say rat in a stick.
Not a rat and a stick. They offer a selection of breads from a local bakery. They're day old, but they're cheap. So you can get breads. They do have a cheese selection, which is why they also have these cheese spirits. And a small cheese selection from a local vendor as well. Aged cheese that's almost expired for a reduced price.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Right, for 1 gold, you can get a combo platter of 5 slices of French loaf, 5 small pieces of bread, and 2 pieces of 3 different kinds of cheese. 6 pieces of cheese, 6 cubes of cheese, basically, for 1 gold, and 5 pieces of bread.
That's pretty luxurious, like for a fucking...
Sounds like purposely an odd number of cheese and bread.
Yeah.
That's why the hot dog.
Kill that shit. Is there any gambling going on?
You wolf down your cheese and bread plate. Yeah, there's always gambling going on. Would you be interested in being involved somehow if you're drunk and wolfing down cheese and bread?
I'm ready to throw it all away. Yeah, I want to gamble.
I use mage hand and eat some.
Alright. You steal.
Like a cheese.
Roll a sleight of hand to take a piece of cheese without Sin noticing. With your mage hand. You can roll perception, Sin, to see if you catch Ivory doing that.
Okay.
Still gonna do it, but you might or may not see him doing it.
11.
Alright. So apparently Ivory's a little drunk also. He drunkenly tries to take a piece of cheese with a magic hand, but the magic hand's like making the cheese wobble towards his mouth. You see it happening. Do you let him have this piece of cheese? He's magically trying to waver into his mouth. You see his mouth open, cheese starts flying that direction. Do you let him have it, or do you snatch it back?
Actually, I don't just snatch it. I jump and grab it with my own mouth.
Alright, roll me a reflex save to bite at it before he eats it.
Yeah, 19.
I'm gonna allow it. Right before it gets to his mouth, you bite it midair. Don't get a free piece of cheese, Ivory, unfortunately.
Haven't you heard it? 'Cause it's that-
Trying to be cool, man.
It was pretty cool.
He was just drunk and he saw a piece of cheese. You know how it goes.
I feel bad and I hand him
You get a piece of cheese after all, and then all the pieces of cheese are gone. You guys order more cheese, or do you go gamble?
a gamble.
There is one dealer currently in this particular bar, someone from the market who, like, on the side is dealing this game in this bar. In a game called Buddy.
Bloody fun.
Apparently you can watch a round of this game if you like to see how it goes, if you're not familiar with the game Buddy.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys watch a round of Buddy. So the dealer, either one person or one person and their buddy, so two people, are rolling a 20-sided die, trying to match with a dealer roll. You can either roll alone and try to match your one die, or roll together and have your two numbers added together.
Every time you roll, you have to re-gamble the amount. Whenever you win, you can win a pretty large amount. So you guys want to play a game of Buddy?
Yeah, can I put down like...
So you guys want to bet 20 gold? It says, well, your first game, we can do 1-to-1 odds. You guys okay with that? Because if you lose, he takes your monies, but if you win, he matches and you get 40 gold back.
Throw in 10.
How much? 10.
So the dealer rolls. The dealer has rolled a 6. So you guys can now both also roll a d20, and if your numbers either added together or subtracted from each other equal 6, you guys will win the money. And if not, you will lose it. Ooh, so close. One off. So unfortunately, you would lose that round of Buddy. He takes your 20 gold. He says if you guys want to do another round, he'll double your odds. So you give him 20 gold. If you lose, he just takes your 20 gold. But if you win, he'll give you 40 gold back.
How gambling works. Oh, your money got me.
We can nip out and come back.
I'm too broke for this.
Oh, it's your chance to win your money back.
Too broken, too drunk.
You know where to find me. I'm here every 3rd day and 5th day. Nice to meet you, buddies. You guys leave the bar. You go to your regular inn.
Well, no. His place.
You go back to the shack, but you continue to pay stable fees for your camel.
Yes.
Alright, so just subtract your stable fee for the day, I guess, and go stay in the shack. So 5 gold, but you know your camel's taken care of for the time being. And you guys are back in the shack to rest up and sleep off this drunkenness. You're going to wake up tomorrow with a hangover, of course. You may not remember everything that happened tonight. You'll be like, where'd that 20 gold go? You don't remember gambling.
Damn.
Meanwhile, back on the demon ship, somewhere in the middle of the ocean, Iraku is following Blaine around. Arog takes care of Kefo's former inhabited body and keeps the gem. Otherwise, the ship goes back to its normal running order under your current acting captain, Lane.
Oh man.
He starts asking around about who Aaron's first mate was, and you guys come to realize that the former captain's name was allegedly Aaron, the bone demon. We ask around, gets pointed back to Arog. So Arog, you are approached by Blaine as you're sort of helping clean up the bodies mid-ship. Zombie limbs, but most of the bodies here are so far torn up they're not of any threat, but you guys are just taking them down to the sub-level where the furnace is to be burned up as needed. So you're just like dumping them down the ladder at this point, shoving them to the back of the hallway where there's room. So the majority of the crew is wiped out. There's only like 15 remaining plus you and Blaine right now, so 17 people currently.
Holy shit.
People are saying that you were the former first mate. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true, Kevin.
He asks, what happened?
I don't know. I thought everything was cool. We were just going toward, a place we knew that had plenty of people, plenty of resources, just ripe for pillaging. My compatriots are from there, so we know the area well. We know there's plenty of stuff for us to take and souls to snatch.
Well, I don't know what went wrong.
But,
Aaron's been a good captain. Every other time we needed a sub-captain, he's come and fill in till we could figure shit out. This time, things all went to shit. I'm gonna have to bring in a whole new demon for backup captain. It's gonna throw my whole schedule way out of whack.
yeah, this fucking paladin became like Gorham to some folks because that's my guy.
Yeah.
And she threw herself into the furnace, like sacrifice style. Word like grew around shit, and people were killing each other.
According to my records, we have 2 bodies, but only 1 soul is being held captive by the imps in our hell domain currently, which means one of those souls escaped. Now, due to the power given to the demon ship, I would say your paladin was kept captive in hell, and it was your other spirit that escaped, and it's lost somewhere on this ship.
Well, fuck, that might
I
explain some
screamed
shit.
because no one remembers me. Ah!
Because obviously that's what's causing all this trouble. So mission number 1, we gotta take care of that. You're my first mate. You can take care of the spirit problem, I'll promote you to captain. Then I can get back to my job in the belly of the ship.
There's no priest on this ship.
You're
Yeah,
right next to Blank's face.
but yet it's only a ghost whisper, so no one can hear you.
I'm like, who? I I glisten in the pocket.
Sounds like a fly's wings buzzing in your ear. So you're now charged with finding this spirit, tracking it down, helping eradicate it. If you find it, he can help you get rid of it, but you need someone to help track it down. So if something weird is happening, it's your job to help track it down and call for him. He'll teach you the incantation to call Blaine.
Yes.
Yeah, alright, I got it.
If you say that, he'll come running. He'll say that's how one of the shipmates, Roderick, called him when things got out of hand midship. Help track down the spirit, and you can become captain.
I stand there puzzled. It's like an impossible task. Well, I just go on about my business, how you find a ghost.
As you go about your business, you'll stay up here in the top level. Roll a perception check.
I got a 20, not natural.
Alright, you'll see Blaine cursing under his breath, like tearing through a bunch of papers in this room and knocking over a bunch of the stupid artifacts and treasures that all the former captains have collected and stored in this room.
You looking for something?
Yes. Erog has left the room, but Blaine has left his captain's door open, which is rare.
What was I rolling? Perception? 11.
Alright, so Blaine's door is open, so you sort of hear him cursing as you walk away, but he doesn't say anything in a language you recognize unless you speak Abyssal. You don't understand the words he's saying, you don't turn around to look. You're walking away.
Can I go into a rage? Try to take over Blaine. It's only a 13.
I rolled a natural 1, so I have to let you do it anyway.
Wow.
So for 6 seconds, you got Blaine.
Cool. Is there a weapon around?
Not within arm's reach, but there are some things like, there's some like a pile up in the other side of the room if you want to run over there and grab something.
Alright, I run over and I grab a weapon.
Blaine doesn't need weapon, he has claws. He has chains. So other than his chains, no, like, so I thought you were looking for like a sword or something. He's got chains on him, and that's the weapon he carries. You run over and grab a sword, but now you're not near anything to attack.
I'm gonna attack myself.
You can just do damage to yourself, because you're not going to not hit yourself. But that means you're going to take this damage also, psychically. Stabbing yourself in the face is going to cause you trauma, which causes you physical damage as it goes. But I mean, nothing else hurts you, so I don't think you have that much to worry about.
Oh, because he's a demon?
You'll both take you'll take the same amount of damage. You're just taking it with him, because you're going to feel this psychological trauma when you do it.
Yeah.
The type of sword you'll have, we'll say it's a D8 plus strength.
So this is a really emotional moment for us in our relationship. It's just really special. Yeah, it hurts a lot. It hurts a 13, so I'm down to 1 hit point.
Hurts him 13 as well, and he comes to with a sword in his face.
Yeah, I like this.
And like screams like, what the fuck? And then he immediately screams for Erog.
I was gonna say, do I see that?
Yeah. You roll perception check to see if you hear him yell for you now.
I got a 12. Perception.
You hear some yelling, but maybe he's still yelling in Abyssal. You don't understand it. And you don't pay enough attention to it to turn around yet. So I need to roll for initiative now with you, Eriku. I only got an 8.
I also got an 8. Okay, so is Erog the only body around?
There's some other folks in this top level as well, but it's only like 8.
Closest to me, Erog?
Erog's probably the closest one to the door. Yeah, 'cause he just walked out.
Okay, yeah. I try to take over Erog.
Alright, will contest.
14.
5.
Alright, you got Erog for a round.
Over Erog's body, and I grab the axe and run over to Blaine, and I attack him with the axe.
Alright, roll it.
Wow, I got a natural 1!
So instead, you trip and Erog falls on his own axe, so roll that axe damage on Erog.
My
Can I
strength
feel the
plus
bump?
3.
Or you're
You can feel the bump.
Oh.
You're definitely moving around in there, Bakefo.
14 damage.
Unconscious.
Alright. Erog falls on his own axe and goes unconscious. As the demon, Blaine, tries to go after you, he is whipping chains all around because he knows the spirit's here, but he can't see it. Starts saying an incantation.
Wow, cool!
It's going to take him a full round to cast this spell.
I know I'm in the pocket, but can I try to take over Erog's unconscious body?
Yeah.
You're not touching his skin, but I'll tell you what, because it's one of those situations where why not, and you haven't got a chance to play it today, go for it.
And he's real weak right now because he's passed out.
I'll say, because he's a barbarian, he's got a lot of holes in his clothes, so whenever he falls on his axe, the gemstone, slides in that part of his pocket where there's a hole. Now you're touching his bare leg.
Yes. Yes.
Right, your dice weren't even out, bro?
My dice were out. My contest was a 12.
I mean, he's unconscious, so you just get him.
I stand up.
Oh, you stand up. There's an axe in your head.
I would like to take it out and put my hand on my head.
Roll me a heal check to stop the bleeding.
24.
You're doing really good, but you don't need to keep the pressure to it. So you either have to leave your hand there and don't move it, or find something else to wrap really tightly around your head.
Can I use my Cure Light Wounds?
Magic does heal wounds, I'll allow it. 3 HP is how many he gets back? Does that bring you conscious, Erog? 3 HP?
No.
Oh, Dan, you knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, my bad. You know what episode I listened to the other night? The one where Erog hits Kieran, but on purpose, but then it makes him pass out. This is like that.
I have 12 perception on in front of arrows right now.
He seems to be whipping away his chains at something you can't see and cursing in a language you don't understand as you hold your head to stop the bleeding.
Oh, this is it. I'm gonna see what's going on. Shit. I'm healing your head.
So you continue this incantation. In this round, 2 tiny white imps appear, and they start sniffing in this cabin and like climb up the walls and sniffing around, growing ever closer to your spirit, Eriku.
Dodging everything.
Rolling acrobatics to try to get away from them.
It's an 11.
Alright, so you pass back to the other side of Blaine. These creatures turn around and seem to follow you back that direction, like drop down off the ceiling and sort of still like sniffing around, barking in Abyssal, definitely tracking you. And now that they're sort of following you, you see Blaine's kind of following them. He whips out a chain and another chain and now has them by the neck and are like leading him.
I get just right behind Blaine, right behind him. I'm just like walking with him, but just right behind
Bug Bunny?
Yeah.
Alright, so now he's walking in circles because these little imps are trying to go behind him. But he can't see you and he can't seem to hit you, and he's just cursing his luck.
I blow into his ear, like, sensually.
He yells for Arog to do something about this. Get rid of this thing.
A wascally rabbit up in here. Stalker. Literally, I'm right behind him.
I don't understand why Blaine walking around in a circle. So, I do a knowledge arcana roll to fucking understand what the fuck is going on. 4.
You're not sure. Maybe there's someone invisible in the room or something that you just can't see, or something really tiny. You're not sure what he's doing. They're like definitely like looking for something. But he's walking around in circles like an idiot for some reason.
I'm gonna
He seems obsessed.
stand in the middle of the circle. I'm gonna put Arog in the middle of that circle.
Alright, you walk up into it and just stand there as they walk around in circles.
I'm still at -1. I've got blood.
Got you,
That blood's clotted.
At this point, Blaine blows out the lights. All the lights go dim in this room.
I'm like, ooh, set the mood.
Can I pop some good berries? I do that, and I lit Arog 3 good berries.
That does make me conscious. I'll do a contest. I'll leave it up to you.
I got a natural 1.
I got an 18.
You are standing again in Blaine's room. You got your hand on your head. You see like blood trickling down your arm as you have your hand on your head. You got your axe in your other hand. It's a little bloody as well. But you're standing in the middle of the captain's quarters, and the captain is walking around you in circles with 2 imps on a chain, cursing.
I'm just really, what is going on here?
He's like, Arog, damn it, get that spirit. Didn't you read the manual?
What manual?
He says, damn it, that's what I thought.
No one told me about a manual.
All first mate and captains are supposed to read the manual. Didn't the captain tell you to read the manual when he took over and made you first mate?
No, I did not.
This is what I'm talking about. Aaron fucked up. He really fucked up.
I guess he did. I guess he did.
I've been looking all this room and I can't find the damn thing. Now there's a ghost in here. I'm walking around in circles. You don't see the damn thing? Of course, the lights are out now. You don't have dark vision. You don't see anything.
Low light.
He will bark something in Abyssal at the imps, and then they will say a magic incantation, and all of a sudden, glitter dust will swarm and form around the spirit of Eriku, outlining the shape of her spirit body, which looks a lot like her real body. It's got one big arm, one small arm, but otherwise it's sort of morphic and weird. It does sort of resemble what Eriku looked like in life.
I use my form to give him the fingers.
I'd be like,
So now you see the spirit and what he's cursing about.
I do a heart shape at Blaine. He sees that.
We gotta get this thing back into the furnace. You could try to form your body into letters, like you could do the YMCA if you want.
I do the symbol for F. And a U.
After flipping them off, you do the symbol for F and the symbol for U.
I do a really weird slime boy symbol that only Arog would know.
It's a jerk off motion.
Slime boys for life.
So yeah. So you see all this, you see the ghost. Either you have to get it back in the furnace or find some way to make amends with it so it'll stop fucking up your crew, like ruining, If it causes the same problems, you won't last long as captain. Another mutiny, you gotta get rid of it or get it under control. You do that, you're captain.
I'm gonna try to talk to the ghost. I'll be like, Eriku, I knew you once. Why are you here? What do you want?
I'm like, finally someone said my name. It's been like ever since y'all like remembered me. That's my fucking legacy. No one remembers how I killed Karen, and I also killed myself. And also I got some unfinished business. But no one hears any of this because I'm a fucking ghost.
So Eriku yells a lot of stuff and you just hear like the wind whispering, but you can't make out any of the words.
Try to interact with the physical. You can like fucking stab people and shit.
No, I can stab people out and stuff.
Jump for
I jumped into the next guy close to me.
Alright, so that means you fly out of the room really quickly and these imps follow you and so will Arog. So you go out into the control room because the captain's door was still open and you take over another body of someone out there. Like I said, there are about 8 guys up there. So we can start with one of them. I got a 5 for my first guy. How'd you do?
I got an 11.
Alright, so you take over the first guy. As they entered this room, he also made a blowing noise with his mouth and all the lights in this room also dropped to complete darkness. So now unless you have dark vision, you can't see anything except the outline of Eriku's spirit.
I got dark vision, so I'm a ghost. So I run over and I try to stomp on one of the imps.
Alright, so roll an attack on an imp now that you're inside of a body.
I'm raging also still. I need a 19 stomp on that imp.
Let's just barely hit. I get a reflex save, which I fail, so he'll take full damage.
10.
10 damage on an imp.
Jump back behind Blaine if that's possible.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, you can exit the body. You can't jump back behind Blaine yet because you've already used your move for this turn.
Cool, I'm near him.
So after you do that stuff, Sides jump out of the body.
Alright, I'm gonna witness what's going on, and I'm going to pull out the dagger that Erica gave me, that I made her, the boar chest dagger, and I'm going to shout, "Flying boys for life!" And I fucking go and stab that same imp.
Yeah!
Alright, roll an attack on that imp.
Micah is doing like hand gestures. Those jack-offs. Those jack-offs with both hands.
14?
Alright, that's a miss.
I'm gonna hero point this bitch. Natural 20.
Yes!
Natural 20, you are going to stab this guy.
14 gore damage.
That imp is severely weakened. Blaine is stunned by what just happened and will now turn on you, Arog, since he can't hit the ghost, but he can hit you. But he only rolls a 13 versus your AC.
Oh!
Yeah.
At the same time, I need you to make a will save.
9.
So now his face looks just like Eriku's, and you are shaken for the next 3 rounds. Basically minus 2 and everything. But it's a less severe state of frightened or panic.
Okay, I jump into someone else's body.
That time I got a 19.
21. I run over and I stomp on the other imp. 23.
That's a hit.
12. And I also shout out, "Slot boy!"
I'm gonna try to shank that fucking imp again. 10.
Missed that time. I rolled a natural 1, so Blaine's gonna smack one of his own imps on accident with a chain. Matter of fact, he's gonna kill one of them. The weaker one gets his head ripped off when he jerks on the chain, forgetting that one of those chains was already attached to that guy who was trying to whip you with Arog. So instead, like this, the guy's head flies towards you and like bounces off your torso, doing 0 damage.
There's another guy in the room.
There's 6 guys in the room you haven't tried to possess yet.
Wait, I possessed one of them with an 8.
No, you don't. I got 14 that time.
Go behind Blaine again, just like lean like against him.
Alright, that causes him to immediately move and the one remaining imp dog to spin around to sniff at you. And of course, you're still glitter dusting, so he knows you're there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, it's okay.
Although the glitter won't last much longer. It's like starting to fade already.
My last thing to do before my turn's over is I give them both the finger. I'm getting real ivory up in.
Alright, I would like to pull out my battle axe and my shield. Swing the axe at Blaine. Fucking big, wide, arcing man. 27?
That's a hit.
Yeah.
6 damage. He's gonna try to hit you again, Arog. Somebody got a 26.
That hit me. I'm gonna use an anti-hero point. I'm gonna make you reroll that attack on me.
Alright, minus 8. So I only got a 6 that time. The anti-hero point. That was chain misses you.
So I'm gonna go into this turn with an intimidation shimmer because I like got right behind him all creepy like. So I'm gonna intimidate. 12. Not that intimidating, I'm real sparkly, I guess. Well, I'm raging and I'm gonna take over the imp right next to Blaine. 17.
Got 26.
Wow! That imp has a will. We're gonna bite his ankle. Oh, I'm gonna start moving away, I guess, toward the next victim.
I'm gonna intimidate the dude by trying to talk some shit. So it seems you've met your match, Blaine. And then I'm gonna charge at him with my shield. Oh shit.
Alright, so we're doing an intimidation first.
24.
Already intimidating.
And I charge at him with my spike shield. Let's see him be it. I'll try to knock him down.
Roll it.
I got 6.
It does not work.
Well.
He gets swiped away by his dancing chains that are surrounding his body. Whacks you back. You can't get close enough to shove him with your shield. He's gonna try and hit you. 28 versus Arog. 8 damage.
I'm unconscious.
I take over another guy. 8.
I got a 9, so you don't, but just barely.
Barely.
But Kefo, you're still in that spot of Arog's leg if you want to take over his body now he's unconscious again.
I'm doing that.
Oh man, Arog gets knocked down, he gets back up again. He looks pretty badly beaten.
Oh, I was thinking the same. Do it. I'm up. I say that out loud. I question it, and I'm like, am I up? I'm up, like that.
Yeah.
Ask Arrow.
Everyone looked confused, he thought he just knocked you down. You got back up again.
As I just got up, I let out a little, Can I roll perception? Anything else in the room? 17.
See the glitter dusty outline of Eriku fading as you come to.
Do a twerk motion.
I also twerk.
Alright, you start twerking, as does the ghost. And the glitter dust now fades away and you become invisible to everyone again, even though it's still completely dark in the room.
I go, hey, help! I keep like twerking for a minute. I say it, but no one hears me.
Blaine will curse under his breath and turn to you, Arog, who's obviously not trying to fight him anymore. And he'll say, what is the meaning of this? Was that the ghost? Did the ghost make you do this?
I'm gonna be like, look around real shifty like, and I'm gonna be like, hey man, ghosts make crazy things all the time.
That's the problem.
I'm gonna be like, oh, it's good.
Nothing till we get rid of that spirit. We've got to get this ship back to Blackwater. And things are just out of control. This never happens. I don't know what went wrong. The last captain was out of control.
I get defensive, and I'm like, the last captain was not out of control. The last captain just had a couple centuries of it to work out, okay?
I can't even find the damn manual.
I remember that kid coloring in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I quickly retract my previous statement about the captain going things. And I'm like, yeah, man, that cap dug, and they let a kid take over the ship. And this kid just colored on everything. The manual's gone, bruh.
So Blaine decides he'll have to tell you, Arog, who is actually Bakefo, how to captain the ship by memory, because he can't remember everything from the manual, but he's going to tell you what he can remember, since the manual's been destroyed, been colored on. You can even go to the first mate's quarters, the captain's quarters, and find the coloring pages and be like, is this it? And prove that it's been destroyed.
I would like to do that, and there would also like to grab a crayon or a writing utensil and a piece of paper to write down my captain.
Okay, so you're making a new manual. You can find one of the crayons that the kid used. You might have to draw another map unless you have some free paper in your pack. Arog.
Arog does not have paper.
Aaron does not write things down.
What
So you
is
have to
it?
draw on a map or something then.
While I look for paper, can I see Eric's dagger thing that they were using?
It's on Arog's hip. And it's on his belt.
I hold it, and I would like to look at Blaine and be like, if only we could communicate with this spirit, I think it would be an asset to our crew.
As long as the spirit's not causing a mutiny, I agree a spirit can be an asset. It did sign a contract and does belong to this ship, so it can't ever leave.
Oh, shit. Oh. Hey, can I take over someone who's close by?
You may. Yeah, 13.
Oh, well, I just rolled a 16, so I'm good. I can take over that guy. And I'm raging, and I walk over to Blaine, and I'm like, Blaine, I thought you checked in. Don't you ever think that maybe this is your fault?
The imp is barking, and Blaine says, look, I got a lot going on. Who the hell are you? And then by then, you've left the body. And the guy looks at Blaine confused and backs away. He's like, sorry, boss.
Can I tell Blaine that maybe it's just the weird from down to the ship, you'll just go away. They don't fuck with y'all no more.
That's above Blaine's pay grade. Contracts come down from the highest orders of hell, and all they do is deliver souls.
So how do I captain?
Alright, here's what he remembers. First of all, if you take new crew members, make sure they sign contracts. That way we own their souls if they die.
Write this down for you.
You can order contracts at any time.
Okay, how do you order contracts?
Say, I want a contract, and one will appear.
I want a contract.
One appears.
I gasped at it.
It has very small writing all on it, and this place to sign at the bottom.
I fold it up and put it in
It says you can't have more than 5 at a time, but as soon as they're signed, they vanish, and you can order another one. You can hold a maximum of 5 of those in your bag at any point in time. Demon ship contracts. For all new members of the demon ship, now that your crew's only 15, you need to work right away to get a larger crew. Any smaller of crew, and your ship will become very difficult to run. You need at least 15 to keep it running smoothly. Of course, the ship requires fuel. If it does not fit a body, every 6 days it will stop moving in the water dead. It will not move at all. You give it a living soul, it'll burn clean. If you just give it a body, it'll burn dirty. When it burns dirty, once she makes you captain, you'll become physically ill if it eats non-living flesh. But otherwise, as long as it eats living flesh, you're healthy and the ship moves on. If it eats a good soul, a good aligned soul, you can operate for 36 days without being fed again. Normal soul, whether neutral, chaotic, or evil, any other type of soul will only keep it running for 6 days. Once you don the captain's symbol, if you're not already evil aligned, you will be. He knows you already are because you went through training.
Arrow and the Tempo evil.
And as long as the ship is outside of Blackwater and you are captain, your charisma actually equals 4 until you reach Blackwater. So you're super, super low charisma as long as you're outside of Blackwater. And he will also warn the longer the ship stays out of Blackwater, you become less charismatic, and then on some level, so does the ship. The ship will start dropping its illusion if you stay out of Blackwater too long. People will stop seeing levers and knobs and buttons and start seeing dicks and buttholes and nipples on the ship instead of actual imps. These are all imp body parts parts protruding from the walls. By the crew pleasuring them, encourages them to continue their work, which is what actually powers the ship. So the ship, you actually feed these demon souls so they continue their work, and then you stimulate them manually to make sure they pilot your ship where you want to go. But if you're the captain, you're wearing the emblem, all you have to do is think a direction, and the ship will go that direction.
And a manual.
They say it's also important that all of your crew members are evil. If they are good or neutral, they run a risk of mutiny, and that can be contagious, so they always tend to lock those up on the bottom floor and only allow limited access. A very few members of the crew ever go to the bottom level of the ship. Try to reduce your security crew for that level to a small number. As few interactions with the prisoners as possible.
We're like tampering our prisoners.
You need to keep a big crew on the ship because it's better to have a larger crew, and then if all else fails, you can feed them to the demon engine. Right now, your crew is dangerously low. Luckily, you have a lot of god meat to keep the ship running, although dirty. So he's going to help you pilot back to Blackwater and give you a fresh start as Captain Basic. You're going to remain in control of the ship, and you guys are going to try to get rid of this ghost. But once you guys get to Blackwater, he's going to put you in control one way or another. Hopefully, get rid of this ghost before then.
Can I ask Blaine if there's a Blackwater path back to the docks?
Blackwater goes near the docks, but not up to the shore. But you can spend some time in Blackwater and then leave again. It's just the longer you stay out of Darkwater. Once you're out of Darkwater for 6 days, that's when your charisma drops to. And like you've been out of Darkwater for a long time now, and the ship has been holding up the illusion. It's just lost it since there are less people on the ship. The more living souls are on the ship, the more motivated it is to keep the illusion to hide what it really is from the crew. So at this point, every now and then a lever turns into a dick, or every now and then the crew sees things like they really are. And right now, all of your prisoners see the prison as it really is. They no longer think they're in a resort. They actually realize they're in prison now. So everyone downstairs is fully aware of their situation. Until you guys get back to Blackwater. Also important to entice your crew. Once they get on board the ship will try to take them over and control them. When they leave the ship loses their control of them. But you need them to leave the ship to get more crew members, to get food, to keep people alive on the ship until you want to sacrifice them. So you have to come up with some way to entice them to stay on. Promise them things. There's no stipulation on that, but give them some kind of promise of reward or a promise of one day being let off the ship if they do a certain number of things. Basically, find some way to keep your crew prisoner. You're told all this in the confidence of the captain's quarters, and he says he's going to pilot the ship until you guys get to Blackwater, and he's going to hand this responsibility over to you. Until that time, your number one responsibility is to find and get rid of this ghost if you can. Either put it back in the furnace or find some way to make an agreement with it so it'll be on your side and help your crew, but do something.
We're in the captain's quarters?
You're in the captain's quarters, yeah.
Still a mess, right?
It's always a mess.
Well, I rummage for a crayon, and on giant letters, I write, Eriku.
I can hear you.
I don't know that.
Oh.
I'm like, Eriku. Take walk into the furnace.
That's where they want to. I crawl out the butthole.
Yeah, but can't you just go in and out?
I guess if the butthole's open, I can walk out. If it's shut, I'm stuck there.
I'm writing that message, and I'm going to tell Blaine that I'm going to try to incorporate the ghost crew.
I wrote a natural one, so I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
This is what I wrote down. I did not write down everything that Blaine said. I think that's important. I wrote down this stuff, which is the beginning of what he said, but then I took these general notes as the CAFO, which is just keep thinking about the dogs. Take Blackwater up to dogs with arrow pointing back to number 1, which is just keep thinking about the dogs. And then I wrote, think of, that's supposed to say pillaging.
Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah.
And then I wrote, think of pillaging and sex slaves, because that's our reality. And then incentive plan, just elusively incentive plan at the bottom of the page by itself. Real vague.
Gotta have incentive. Alright, you return to first mate's quarters and rest up and try to think of a way to find and take care of this troublesome ghost who you now realize is Eriku.
I'm just gonna keep writing on the walls, because I'm just like...
It's crayon, so it doesn't show up very well, but you can keep doing it if you want.
Writing heartfelt or something like that. I'm not gonna write, I'm gonna sleep on it now. Some more notes to write to Eriku.
So you guys rest. The first mate quarters door is kind of messed up, but otherwise you're welcome to use that room. You are attacking with the first mate now, Arog.
Yeah, let's just take the day. I've got a giant axe wound in my face as well, so yeah, I need some time.
Alright, you can take a D20 plus con to recover. If a Kefla will be stuck there in your unconscious pocket. Meanwhile, Eriku in spirit still wandering around this ship with a much smaller crew.
I've been following Blaine around a lot.
Currently in his captain's quarters, cursing under his breath in Abyssal, which you probably don't understand, but you can tell he's cursing, he's angry. You can tell he doesn't like being here.
What's he saying? I'm listening.
He's saying it in Abyssal, so unless you speak Abyssal or want to roll a linguistics check, you can't understand it.
I'm gonna roll it for the heck of it. 19.
And you can tell he's uncomfortable here, he's mad about being here, he doesn't like the crew. You can tell he's just generally upset. He's out of his element, doing something he doesn't want to do.
Get really close to him, like where I can whisper in his ear all ghost-like.
There's no way you can hear that. Maybe if you yell it, it'll sound like that to him, though.
I scream it super fucking loud. Like, I get really up in there, and I'm like right like this to his face, his ear. And I just, holler as ghostly and as loud that he did this. I'm not gonna. Well, Ilge hasn't saw me before, but yeah, real loud. Can't scream that loud.
He'll think he hears something.
And I'm gonna like gently blow a breeze into his ear hole.
He goes and finds some clothes to put on. So now he's a demon wearing like human clothes that don't fit him very well. He's so chilly. He's like big guy in a little coat.
I think he looks cool in his coat, and I like phase out of the wall. And as I phase, I just screech some more about how he did this. I'm trying to like make him be like a weird conscious, but like accusingly. So I phase out the wall after messing with his subconscious. I look for someone to possess. That's what I got going on.
About half the crew is up here in the top deck, about 8 people.
I possess the closest one to me. I only got a 6.
I got a natural 1, so you still got him.
Thank you, evil dice. So I possess myself and I pat myself down to see what kind of weaponry I have.
Perception check.
I got a natural 1.
You don't feel anything on you as far as like weapons go.
Alright, I am just going to run and tackle someone. I'm not even going to scream anything coherent. I'm just going to go blah, 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 blah.
Roll CMB to tackle.
I go into a rage as I start blabbering in a weird running manner. 15.
Close, but you like run into a guy who doesn't fall over. You'll tackle him. Your spirit is ejected from that body.
Pull up rage in, and I'm going to take over someone else.
The guy you just bumped into.
Convenient. 15.
Got a 17 that time, unfortunately. Not that guy.
16.
You got a 12 that time, so you're able to get the third guy.
I pat myself down with a perception of 11.
You don't find anything on this guy either.
I don't even check my weaponry this time. I just walk right over and I just slap the crap out of one of them.
Alright, roll the attack to slap.
15.
Oh, that's a miss also. He doesn't seem to mind it when you slap him, for sure.
I wink at him before I'm ejected from that body. Again!
I got an 18 that time.
Yep, no. Natural 1.
I got a 12, so no that time.
19.
I got a 6 that time.
Cool. Who am I? Who am I?
Some guy.
9. These guys are not armed.
This guy, yeah, you're not able to find him. There must be hidden, or it must be in his bunk, or like somewhere like concealed in his body. You're not able to like it's under your belt somewhere. You're like grabbing for a weapon. It's not where you would keep your weapons normally.
I'm like so flustered.
Like, where's this guy's axe? Why doesn't he have an axe on his back?
I'm so mad. I just like. I attack myself.
You like punch yourself in the face, Fight Club style.
Frustration. 19 on myself.
Yeah, you definitely hit yourself.
I'm like, ah! 5.
You do 5 damage to that guy's face when you're ejected out of the body. 2 more guys up here you haven't possessed yet today.
21.
Got a 15, so you got that guy.
Hit that guy. I get to that guy, and I turn to the guy that I just got ejected out of that screamed, and I'm like, shut up! 24.
That's a hit. There's only one guy left up here for you to possess if you want to try that.
I go back to good old this one.
I got an 8.
20, not natural.
You got that guy.
So the guy that I've been slapping, that I made slap himself, that I've been doing all the damage on, I'm gonna walk over to him, but like all weird.
You walk over
that.
weirdly.
And I'm like, yeah, shut up! 13.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
I got a point across. And
Yeah.
as I
Just waved at him.
before I eject at him, I wink at him, but also give him the double bird, but a wink also to represent the 3 moon circle daggers of Calistria.
So as you do that and are ejected out of this body, the captain comes barging out of his door, cursing in Abyssal, which no one in the crew understands. They can tell he's mad, wearing like a sweater that's too tight for him. And he's looking around like he's asking, "What's going on here? Why is everyone so upset?" And they can't really explain what's going on. And like he did this, he did that, and it's very confusing. And he's cursing the chaotic spirit on the ship. He asked one of these crew members, "Go open the furnace and say a combination of words," which that guy does because he's the captain.
I'm just floating around giggling.
Yeah, you also got 300 experience points.
I'm gonna hang out. So did he verbally out loud say, I leveled up? And I'm like, ah! Floating, writhing around, kind of giggling.
You grow slightly more powerful.
There's no one else for me to possess, so I'm just hanging out, blowing it on Blaine's.
A while later, there's a rap on his door while you're in there blowing on his neck. And the crew member he sent down to the furnace let him know that he's returned. Captain will open the door, and then will walk in a strange little devilish, impish-looking creature, sort of the height of a gnome, but with horns, and reddish skin, kind of an ugly little critter. Comes in carrying a big book, flops down the book on the bed next to Demon Captain, and hops up next to it, and opens it up to a page about wild spirits.
Complimented by this. I'm like, yeah, I am wild, but no one there is that for me.
And they go about talking in Abyssal about how to deal with you, so you can't
I sit
understand
there
any
and
of
talk
it.
about how much they like me, so.
But
You can definitely tell they're talking about you.
I'm flattered. Finally, someone's paying attention to me again.
You're hanging out and bothering Blaine while they read this book. Meanwhile, Arog rests up. After 20 hours, how rested are you, Arog?
I'm a +5 rest.
Alright, so do you want to get out of bed at a +5, or do you want to continue resting anymore?
Let me get up.
You're in the first mate's quarters now. You're still wearing your Everwake amulet, so you don't have to rest, so you must have only rested out of necessity, so you know you were in a fight recently, you got beat up, so you're recovering. You're wounded, you're still healing, obviously, but you want to see what's going on. You get up, look around, there's a big hole in your door, there's stuff strewn around this room.
I've got a big old nasty gash in my face now. Everyone's getting face scars. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay on the road long enough.
It makes me look crazier though.
Yeah.
So, it's a good pirate captain.
Tells the story,
Okay, not sure exactly where every Kefo left that note, but do I notice it?
Perception check. Yeah, when you stand up out of bed, the note falls off your chest to the floor and you don't notice it.
God damn it.
Alright, well I'm like real fucked up and I don't really remember anything, so I'm gonna take a look around the room.
Alright, well, perception check to look around the room to get your bearings.
I think it might be a 9. It might be.
So yeah, you still don't see the note, but you definitely know you're in the first mate's quarters. You see the hole in the door. Probably hear a little bit of yelling outside in the machine area, in the area where all the inner workings of the ship are. Here's some noise out there, but it quiets down a little bit as you're kind of getting your bearings. The captain come and go.
Alright, how badly damaged is that door? Is it like barely a door? Can I see out there?
There's a hole big enough to see through. I mean, it's broken enough that it can no longer be locked.
Well, I just got my ass kicked not too long ago. So before I really go anywhere, I'm gonna limber up. I'm gonna give my back a couple twists, reach down and touch my toes.
Alright, you want to roll a perception check and you reach down and touch your toes?
Yeah.
Yes.
A 10. I'm getting it.
I mean, there's stuff on the ground. I don't think that you probably see this time. You probably saw a piece of paper on the ground. It just didn't draw your attention. You definitely saw a piece of paper. It just did. You weren't like, I have to read that piece of paper right now. But you are more limber now. You feel stretched out, maybe ready to walk around and see what's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the room. I'm gonna go out into the main area and scope out what's happening out there.
Bunch of shit.
Alright, so there's a bunch of guys like still kind of arguing and bickering when they're doing their jobs and like shooting each other like dirty looks. You can tell you just missed something. A row. So, like there's a bunch of like just mean looks going around the cockpit area. Other than that, they're just doing their job and whistling. Blaine seems to have returned to his cabin.
I want to find a couple of things on the ship if I can.
Okay.
I would like to find some sort of like, I don't know, like a brush.
Like
Not like a
hairbrush.
hairbrush, but like a paintbrush. So yeah, I'm gonna try the galley. Maybe look like for a basting brush or something like that.
So the chef's in there, sees you rifling around through his stuff and asks what you're doing.
Oh, I'm looking for a basting brush. You got one of those laying around here, like a little brush. You put some sauce on the meat.
Says, yeah, what do you need it for?
Some sauce, actually.
Any sauce problems, I could take care of it for you. Just bring your sauce in here and I'll do the basting.
No, it's a private sauce thing.
Diplomacy.
Orcish diplomacy. It was 16.
He'll say, the last time I let someone borrow this thing for personal use, it came back smelling like bum.
It's
Yeah,
not.
right.
It's not going in any bums.
You lose this basting brush and I can't baste any of our food. It's on you. You're the first mate right now, so here you go. You gotta
Well,
think
you know anywhere else I could find something? I mean, I don't want to lose the basting brush. It's the first
It's
thing.
like, you can have it, but I mean, maybe give me something with collateral. I'd be a little more happy about it if you want to keep the kitchen happy. Give us something we can hold for it until you bring us back our brush.
I have 3 eyeballs and 4 teeth. Would you like to hold on to those for me?
That sounds like a pleasure to hold. What an offer.
I hand him over the 3 eyeballs and 4 teeth.
As I guess I can't refuse. You're the first mate. He sits there he's holding his eyeballs and teeth, looking very confused.
I leave the galley and I go back into the main area. Is there any just big open surfaces, walls?
Did you go back up to the top deck, or are you in the main area of the middle deck?
The top deck where the captain's quarters are.
So you're looking for like blank wall space, basically?
Yeah.
Well, there's that upside down hanging structure in between the two doors. Has got some wall space. Hanging mechanism isn't. There's some wall space sort of near where the navigator works. Other than that, there's mostly like knobs and levers and stuff on the wall.
I like the space between the captain's and the first mate's doors. I'm gonna take the Kefo's bucket of sauce. And I'm gonna stick it like down there on the floor. And then I'm gonna take that brush and dip it in there, and I'm just gonna leave it there.
Ooh, can I have some?
And I'm gonna walk away. Now that's there. I'm gonna dip my finger in the sauce real quick. I know it's Aaron at this point. You said some slime boy shit. I know it's you. Aaron didn't like the slime boys. She wouldn't be repping them.
No.
I'm gonna write real quick, real small, like down in the corner. What can I do? And barbecue sauce. Yeah, that's what I do there. Okay. So
Alright, while you're doing that, one of your other crew members walks up to the captain's door with a very small man with red skin and horns, and they bang on the captain's door, and the little man's let inside. Crew member goes back to his business.
I'm gonna go knock on the captain's door.
There's no answer when you knock.
I'm just gonna shout through the door. First mate reporting for duty.
Alright, diplomacy.
Oh, that's a red man.
Still no reply.
Okay, well then I guess I'm gonna go check on the jail section. The furnace just kind of duty on the ship. I got that necklace, so we go check it out. See how things are going down.
Slim pickings down there. Not many bodies left in cells. Bunch of god meat still, but you tell the supply's running down, and a lot of it, well, while it rots very slow, isn't looking so great. Without Bakefo around to purify the meat, it's not going to be as pleasurable to eat. So that you have that to look forward to as far as like just meals in the future is just some nasty tasting dead old giant meat. So spoiled meat on the menu, but otherwise not much going on down there.
I want to go talk to a healthiest looking crew member.
You can pick the top 1 out of 15 you think looks the healthiest.
I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, fucking, give me your report, sailor.
My report on what?
What's fucking going on? What's happening?
Doing my job, man.
Well, I'm gonna be like, well, you're doing a great job. And I'm gonna reach in my pocket, and I'm gonna pull out the Bakefo stone, and I'm gonna pass it to him and be like, this is for your hard work.
Whoa, work incentives. Cool. He looks at it and says, kind of girly, but what the hell? You only live once, and he puts on a necklace. Only a will contest, Bakefo.
Yes! My will is real sticky.
I got a 20 not natural.
Yep, I got a fucking 19.
Alright. He's wearing the necklace, but you do not take over his body.
But I know I have an anti.
Alright, you want me to re-roll -8? With that, I rolled so incredibly low with an anti-hero point. You can easily take over this guy's body. And you yell out.
I'm gonna let out a little chuckle. Who you?
I just stand there with my armpits open, and I just look at Arog with a face of like, shift my eyes from side to side, like, what's going on face. But I don't actually say anything.
I blacked out after I fell on my axe, and then I woke up in the quarters. I thought for sure I was dead.
Did you get the note I left you?
No.
What? I left you a note.
I hate notes.
All the instructions were placeholder note.
Do you guys want to return to the first mate's quarters to have a private discussion and find this note?
It was lit as we're walking to the quarters. It was laying right on top of you as you were sleeping. How could you not see it?
I've got a fucking face situation going on right now. That's probably what it was.
I roll my eyes and feel like...
And you guys make it back to your first mate's quarters and find that note as well. Kefo will help you find it. You guys can take a 20 on that. You guys stir up your note. Read your instructions on how to follow through once you're given the command of the demon ship, which hopefully will happen soon. Meanwhile, back in the donks. So what do you guys get into while you wait for your next trial date? Anything at all, or you just want to jump to your conclusion?
Yeah. We all said that. I pretty much have to stay out of trouble.
Do you guys want to go to work those days and keep making money like you have been doing?
Yeah, I do need money.
We're not staying at no inn.
You guys are staying in your shacks. You guys have 2 shacks to stay in now since you're out of trouble with the law. So you guys go and stay in your respective shacks separately, or cohabitate whenever you feel like it. Whatever. Maybe go out for a few cheap drinks on the cheap drink nights. You guys go stay in your own places for a while. Spend some time apart until the next trial date. You're forced to see each other again. So meanwhile, you guys make some cash if you guys want to roll that. And if you're 2 weeks, you guys walk out a little bit richer. You've stayed out of trouble. You've avoided each other for a while. Paying to stable your camel still. Maybe subtract a gold or 2 for food and drinks. Make sure you be realistic about it. You guys have been eating, I assume, some point in time so you don't starve to death. And then it'll be time for your next trial date. You guys want to meet your lawyer and then head to the court. They'll give you a ride again along.
It's court day.
It's court day. You can ride along with Calath again. He'll give you guys a ride into the High East. You guys don't get hassled on your way in. Take you to the court. So as long as you guys meet at his law office, you can get in pretty easily. You know your way around the court by now. You've been here a couple times, so they do your trial. They bring out the scientists. They provide the evidence about the fire. The rat poop does not cause any flames. They tried to light it. The fermented berries are flammable, but they shouldn't be exposed to flame. Technically, still, you guys have fault for that. Not the Hunters Guild. They still will agree that there was a large rat problem. You guys were probably inexperienced and panicked. And so they're calling back. So what they've decided is the city is going to be calling back a lot more of their skilled hunters that were going out to the wastelands and going out for more valuable hunts. They're going to be recalled back to the city to take care of this rat problem. And so a lot of those more larger money-making ventures are going to be canceled until the rat problem is taken care of. They're going to try and do something about it, but unfortunately you guys still do over the damages caused. Sin, Ivory, of course, just a character witness, and while they do have some evidence you were there and possibly somewhat responsible, unless Sin wants to implicate you in the crime and say that you're guilty, Sin's going to bear the brunt of this responsibility. 2,200 gold to this farmer to make reparations for all the product lost. Do you have that much gold, or do you need to take out some sort of loan, or...
I don't have that.
I don't think.
Court can give you a loan, sign some paperwork with a judge, and you just owe the court some money. You want to sign the paperwork and owe the court some money? You now know you owe your lawyer 1,100 gold. So your total bill for this case is 3,300 gold. So you leave this trial in debt And as you're leaving with your lawyer, you guys get back in his carriage because he'll lead you to the High East for getting out here. You guys are riding along in the back of his cart. And after you guys exit the High East, he says, I know you're still banned from the Hunters Guild for a while. If you're ever looking for a way to make some extra money, I've got some connections for you guys. Make some gold to pay off your debts.
What kind of endeavors?
This is a little side work for some business associates of mine. Odd jobs. Maybe some things that people don't want to do, but if you guys are willing to put in the work, it's easy money.
Is it illegal?
Diplomacy.
I know you already.
Trust me, I'm your lawyer. It's legal enough.
I don't want to get in further trouble. Not this early on.
Sin doesn't seem interested, but are you, Ivory?
I want to ask who is going to be giving the job.
He says, well, he's not in a position to say names, but he has lots of business associates, and he might trust you with some jobs moving some things around. Be like a package boy. You make some deliveries, you be taking things from here to there, you be getting paid per delivery, basically. Pretty good commissions on these deliveries if you're willing to do it. As long as you just don't ask any questions. As long as you don't know what you're doing, you're not doing anything illegal. As far as you know.
Yeah.
I'm pass.
Best of luck at the pawn shop, and he'll drop you guys off back in the market district. It was nice knowing you guys. Hopefully he won't have to represent you again.
How long do we have to pay off that debt?
I mean, you don't know. The court, they didn't give you a time limit. You know that if you don't pay off in a certain amount of time, the court will come after you and just arrest you. So.
Damn.
70.
The lawyer, same thing. He didn't say a period of time, but you know, for the same, he could also turn that into a collections to the court, and then they would come after you as well.
Can I make payment?
Yeah, you can make payments.
I want to do that.
That would make you look good in the eyes of the court. They wouldn't come after if you're making payments.
Technically, this is not my job.
You have no debt. You're totally free of debt, Ivory. Your name was not in the case. You somehow got away scot-free even though you started the fire. Probably why you and Sin aren't hanging out as much as you used to right now. You might have noticed for the past couple weeks of coming up to the trial, Sin hasn't spent much time with you. So I think Sin does begrudge you a little bit, costing her all this money.
But it's free to listen, so tune in next time for more The Other Dungeon.
This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater is sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.